All right, let's talk about UPS. Something huge is happening there. And I'm not just talking about their latest earnings report. We're looking at a fundamental reinvention of one of the biggest logistics players on the planet.
You know, you see these brown trucks everywhere, right? They're iconic. But what's happening now is that the road they're driving on is completely different. This is not just some minor course correction, it's a massive strategic pivot that changes everything about how they operate. And hey, don't just take it from me. The CEO herself, Carol B. Tomey, put it in no uncertain terms. She called it the most significant strategic shift in our company's history. I mean, wow. When a CEO says that, you know this is a big, big deal. So that begs the question, right? How on earth do you turn a ship that big? It's a massive undertaking. But it's not random. It's incredibly deliberate. So let's get into it. Let's break down what this really means. And it all starts with a couple of numbers that might surprise you.
Okay, so here's where we get into the nitty-gritty of this big shift. It really boils down to two numbers that at first seem like they completely contradict each other. First up, this number. A drop of more than 12% in their average daily package volume here in the US. Now, on the surface, that looks bad, right? Shipping fewer packages, that can't be good news.
But, and this is the key, check out this number. They're making almost 10% more money on every single package they deliver. So wait a minute. Fewer packages, but more money per package? Exactly. That right there, that's the whole strategy in a nutshell.
The industry term for this is revenue per piece, or RPP, and you're going to want to remember that one because it's the key to understanding everything UPS is doing right now. It's not about how many boxes they move, it's about how much each box is worth to them.
So let's be super clear, this is 100% intentional. They are actively choosing to focus on more profitable deliveries instead of just chasing every package out there. It's the classic business school case study, really, quality over quantity.
All right, so how do you even begin to ship fewer packages when you're UPS? Well, a huge part of the answer has to do with their single largest customer. Get this, a 21.2% drop in the volume they handle for Amazon. That is a massive number. Internally, UPS calls this a glide down. It's their term for strategically, intentionally reducing how much they depend on those lower profit Amazon packages. And look, this goes way beyond just Amazon. This is about re-engineering their entire network from the ground up. They're dropping the less profitable stuff. They've already closed 93 buildings this year. They're going all in on automation. And the goal? A cool $3.5 billion in cost savings by 2025. It's a total overhaul. Okay, so if they're moving away from some of the huge e-commerce players, where is all that focus going instead? Who are these quality customers they're pivoting to?
Right here. They are doubling down on business-to-business shippers and small to medium businesses. Think about it. These customers are often way more profitable and provide a steadier stream of revenue than just chasing the latest online shopping trend. And the pivot is also towards these really specific, high-margin areas. For example, they're aiming to be the #1 provider for complex healthcare shipments, stuff that needs special handling. And their digital access program, which serves millions of small businesses, it's already generated $2.8 billion this year alone. They're also growing with high-tech and automotive clients. This isn't just about dropping a box on a porch. It's about providing real, valuable services. Now, this whole transformation isn't just a domestic thing. It's also about how UPS is tackling the increasingly messy world of global trade. Okay, check this out. There was a recent change in U.S. trade policy around what's called the de minimis exemption. The details aren't super important, but the result was a sudden, tenfold surge in the number of packages needing customs clearance every single day. For most companies, that would be a complete and utter nightmare.
But not for UPS. You see, they're one of the world's biggest customs brokers. They fired up what they call their next-gen brokerage, which uses agentic AI, and they just absorbed it. They now digitally process over 90% of these transactions. It's a perfect example of them using their scale and tech to just tame the chaos and keep things moving.
So, with all these changes, there's one big question left, right? The ultimate stress test for any logistics company. The holidays. The peak season. Are they ready? Well, to hear them tell it, they're more than ready. They are confident they're about to deliver their most efficient peak in history and make it 8 straight years of industry-leading service. That's a pretty bold claim.
So how are they going to pull that off? Well, what's really fascinating is how they're doing it.
Because of all these network changes, they can handle the holiday surge with fewer seasonal hires, fewer leased trucks, fewer extra planes. It's all because the new, leaner network, with automation deployed in 35 more facilities this past year, can just handle the load more efficiently.
And this just illustrates the point perfectly. This holiday season, 2/3, 2 out of every 3 of their domestic packages will move through an automated system. That is a mind-blowing level of efficiency, and it's the direct result of this massive strategic bet they've been making.
So when you boil it all down, this is what it looks like. UPS is making a massive, calculated bet. They're trading the old way, chasing maximum volume with a sprawling, complex network, for a new way, focusing on maximum value from a lean, automated, and much more profitable machine.
The numbers we're seeing so far suggest that the strategy is working. The revenue per piece is up, costs are coming down, but let's be real, this is a multi-year transformation. The final chapter is still being written.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question, not just for UPS, but for the entire logistics industry. Is this the blueprint for the future? Is betting on quality over quantity the winning move? Or will shedding all that volume ultimately leave one of the world's biggest companies vulnerable? It's a huge gamble, and we're all about to find out.